Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless the seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Pulling weeds and picking stones, man is made of dream and bones. Oops. Weeds and picking stones, man is made of dreams and bones. Feel the need to grow my own, 'cause the time is close at hand. Grain for grain, sun and rain, find my way in nature's chain. Tune my body and my brain to the music from the land. Plant your rows straight and long, setting them with prayer and song. Mother Earth will make you strong if you give her love and care. And old crow watching hungrily from his perch in yonder tree. In my garden I'm as free as that feathered thief up there. Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Milo and Otis. Well, that movie takes me back. I watched that. So this was not the John Denver version of the song. John Denver wrote it, but this version is the version that I listened to by a duo, a Celtic duo called Constant Billy, who is based in Houston, Texas. And did I ever start my stream? I don't even. Oh my gosh, I don't have my stream on. On the computer side, I have the video, and fortunately, my streamer software is able to capture the recording, so I can just overlay it, even though on my Second Life client, I didn't have any music going on. So I listened to, I couldn't hear myself on my client, so that means that the first song didn't record in the video, but as I said, I have the audio from the streaming software, so I listened to Constant Billy when my mother was a patient at the Anderson Cancer Hospital. And they would come over and they would sing for the patients at the Anderson. There was the Anderson Cancer Center is connected via a bridge to the hotel where many of the patients stay. I can't remember what hotel chain it was. It was a lovely hotel. And at the very, very bottom, in the lobby, near the garden, they had a very nice open area with a Steinway piano, where they would bring in students from Rice University, classical pianists to play. They would bring bands, choirs, and Constant Billy would come in and they would sing, and they sang this song, and they also sang one of my favorite songs, Molly Lee. When Molly Lee come down the street. One day I'll sing that one because that's a very fun song based on a real life event. But yeah, John Denver apparently was a pretty abusive husband. Unfortunately, he was pretty violent. Which, if you grew up with the Muppets version of John Denver, it can come. The knowledge can come as quite a shock, unfortunately. But let's see. We started with some nature. Yeah, maybe. I mean, he was a very complex person. He clearly did care a lot about the environment. He was involved in a lot of humanitarian causes, but his personal life was an absolute dumpster fire. And he had very regressive attitudes towards women. A woman who had, after he divorced, he had several romances with women, and a lot of them talk about how he would make disparaging comments about women, such as the fact that he said that they can't do math and things of that sort, which, kind of do kill the legend of the performer. But a lot of performers are like that. I think that the only performers I've loved that nobody ever has had a bad story about them are Nana Mouskouri, Carol Channing, Angela Lansbury, and in fact, Kennigan shared a lovely anecdote. I hope you don't mind if I share it about Carol Channing. Let me go ahead and pull it up from my inventory before I move on to my next song. Because it really was a lovely thing. And thank you so much for sharing that. Here we go. So, Kennigan said, "My aunt got to see Hello Dolly in Reno. It was a road company, and she thought maybe they had been on the road for years and years. And yes, they were. Hello Dolly has been on the road almost as much as it was on Broadway and its run. She said that the young members of the company were exhausted after that long, and it showed. But Carol Channing was the Dolly. And when she came on stage, everyone came alive. There was life where there had been none. She was not only wonderful herself, but she inspired everyone around her. How lucky you were to be in that front row." And that's true. Carol Channing had a way about her. Somehow, even though she sang Hello Dolly more than any performer who has ever taken the role, she had done more shows. Everybody who worked with her said that she somehow made it so that when she came out, she had the freshness of just it being her first week. And I always thought that was admirable, and that was really the aim of a performer, that to make sure that every concert feels like you're not rehashing the same thing over and over, even if you are singing something for like the millionth time. Not to be like Judy Garland, who I have a story about Judy Garland that I'll share after this song, because we started with a nature kick, so let's go on to the next nature kick with a song by one of my favorite composers, Richard Huntley. Why is it not happening? Give me 1 second. Oh, that's because it's Lee Hoyby. I was looking for him under the wrong name. In any case. I want to be where the music comes from, where the clock stops, where it's now. I want to be with the friends around me who have found me, who show me how. I want to sing into the early morning, see the sunlight melt the snow, and oh, I want to grow. I want to walk to the living spirit here inside me where it lies. I want to listen till I can hear it let it guide me and realize that I can go with the flow unending, that is blending, that is real, and all I want to feel. I want to walk in the earthly garden, far from cities, far from fear. I want to talk to the growing garden, to the devas, to the deer, and to be one with the river flowing, breezes blowing, sky above. I want to love. So the story I have about Judy Garland is that one of her lovers later in her life saw her singing live once. This was a thing apparently she did. He was struck by her singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and at the most emotionally raw moment of Over the Rainbow, he saw a tear springing from her eye as she was saying, "If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow." And he was struck about that emotional reaction, about how genuine it seemed. Now, after he started dating her, she told him that he was not allowed to see the same show twice with her. And he was very, very puzzled as to why. I mean, he already saw her once. And so one night he decided to sneak in, unseen, after the show had begun, to see just what the fuss was about with her. And he said she got to Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and at that exact moment, as if on cue, a tear sprung right from her eye. And that's when he realized that it wasn't a genuine emotion. She would conceal an eye drop in her hand with artificial tears, and she would. But of course, at that moment, then the illusion was shattered. Judy Garland was a consummate performer, but it's things of that sort. When you risk something for effect, when it's not genuine, when the audience finds out, it can backfire on you, because then they realize it wasn't genuine. It was an attempt at a manipulation. Pay no attention to the diva behind the curtain, but yes, Judy Garland was a consummate performer. She had a horribly tragic life. And speaking of manipulative songs, here is one of my favorite Richard Huntley songs. It is a punch to the gut. It is written in such a way that you can't help but feel the emotion that flows through the song. It's called Come Ready and See Me. Come ready and see me, no matter how late. Come before the years run out. I'm waiting with a candle, no wind will blow out. But you must haste on foot or by sky, for no one can wait forever under the bluest sky. sky. I can't wait forever, for the years are running out. I'm waiting with a candle, no wind will blow out, but you must haste on foot or by sky, for no one can wait forever under the bluest sky. I can't wait forever, for the years are running out. I can't wait forever, for the years are running out. I think Hollywood is missing out on a great song here, because don't you just see this song in... Okay, the first time I ever heard an Irving Berlin song in a movie, it wasn't, believe it or not, it wasn't White Christmas, it wasn't any of those. It was in a 1980s movie called The Butcher's Wife, starring, was it Demi Moore? My God, who was it in that movie? Now that's gonna bother me. Give me 1 second. You know how I am, people. Give me 1 second. It was... Yeah, it was Demi Moore. It was Demi Moore and Mary Steenburgen. Sang. She played the role of a wallflower type character, and she sang a song that was short but haunting, because she got a moment where yes, exactly. Thank goodness for the oracle, because otherwise I'd be going crazy. Because Marina was the name of the psychic, and she approached this character who was this anxiety-ridden, I think she was a librarian, who grabbed a dress, this beautiful sequined dress that was just gorgeous. And then she put it back, saying, "No, this is too extravagant." And Marina grabbed her, and she said, "I see you standing in a room in this dress, and you're singing." And of course, the character's secret desire, as it happens, psychics only really work out in Hollywood, is that she wanted to be a lounge singer, but she always had very low confidence. But because of Marina, she ends up getting the confidence to perform in front of an audience. And she sings in one montage where you have this, every character is at their lowest point, of course, as it happens in movies. And she is singing this Irving Berlin song that is just gorgeous. It's short, but it's gorgeous. Not that one. Gone is the romance that was so divine. 'Tis broken and cannot be mended. You must go your way and I must go mine. But now that our love dreams have ended, what'll I do when you are far away and I am blue? What'll I do? What'll I do when I am wondering who is kissing you? What'll I do? What'll I do with just a photograph to tell my troubles to? When I'm alone with only dreams of you that won't come true, what'll I do? What'll I do? So go ahead and tell me that this song and Come Ready and See Me wouldn't just work perfectly cinematically on that like that. I know that if I'm ever doing a story, I'm gonna try to get the rights to the Richard Tudley song to do it. But of course, Irving Berlin, the quintessential American songbook creator, which of course is funny because his name was Israel Beilin, Yiddish, born in May 11th, 1888. Born in Imperial Russia, and he arrived to the United States at the age of 5, and went on to become one of the most well-known composers of truly quintessential American songs. But, as Neil Diamond always liked to point out, America is a country of immigrants, no matter how much some people might dislike that notion. So, Irving Berlin was a poet of the keyboard, and oh gosh, the melodies he wrote. I would consider him to be on par as far as the songwriting talent. He was kind of the Emily Dickinson of songwriting. And stick with me. I will make that analogy work more than you think, because I do believe that Emily Dickinson, as an American poet, is one of the greatest poets who have ever lived. And the reason I say that is because, and yes, I adore my Alfred Lord Tennyson. The ideals of... Thank you, Zarina. Oh, yes, and please do, if you see below my stage, you can tip this venue. The Varro Theater is gracious enough to host me every weekend, and they are subject to my insanity, and they are tolerant with it. So do please tip and support this wonderful venue. But as I was saying, I think Emily Dickinson is one of the supreme poets. I adore my Alfred Lord Tennyson, my William Blake. I adore the poems of Jorge Luis Borges, and of course Shakespeare. I think Emily Dickinson is up there with Shakespeare. And the reason why is that the true mastery of craft is shown not in its most complicated expressions, because that is, in and of itself, is mastery of technique. Well, yes, of course, I adore Poe. That shows mastery of technique, but mastery of craft is a little bit different. So, I'm going to give you a brief concept. In the Renaissance, in the book of the Courtier, Baldassare Castiglione set out the concept of sprezzatura as one of the things that a good courtier should have. And what is sprezzatura? Well, sprezzatura is essentially learning to being able to perform or to do something in such a way that it seems effortless to you, even though it is supremely difficult. So, for example, when you see a tenor and he's turning red in the face to go, and he looks like he is dying on stage doing that, he does not have a sprezzatura. If you look at Alfredo Kraus, who could whip out a Mes Amis and the 9 high Cs, looking like he was just ordering ice cream, that is mastery. That is mastery. And so, if you look at most of the output of, yes, Alfredo Kraus is the god of all tenors, and I will fight anyone who tries to debate me on that point. But if you look at the poems of Emily Dickinson, many of them are miniatures. They're very self-contained, very small. Most don't go past 2 stanzas if she does have longer poems. But if you look at the mastery needed to write an entire poem that has depth of feeling in just 2 stanzas, that requires an amazing level of control. And so, yes, how dreary to be somebody. Let's see. Let me see if I can recall that. Give me 1 second. Just to give you an example of, oops. Give me 1 second. I'm getting an IM. Okay. So, think about it this way. Her poem, I Am Nobody. Who are you? I'm nobody. Who are you? Are you nobody too? Then there's a pair of us. Don't tell. They advertise, you know. How dreary to be somebody. How public. Like a frog to tell one's name the livelong June to an admiring bog. I mean, that really does go down to the core of attention seeking. Heck, it could be a poem about Twitter. But if you look at her output, she has beautiful things on that end. Like, hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me. So, I would say that Emily Dickinson is one of the greatest poets who ever lived because she could encompass so much in so little. And so it shouldn't be surprising that, here's a fact for you, out of all English-speaking poets, Emily Dickinson is the one who has had her poems set to most music by most composers. And so I want to share one with you by... I want to share one with you by Richard Huntley. He set this beautiful poem to music, and I think he captures it. This poem is called Will There Really Be a Morning? And it is, like so many of Emily Dickinson's poems, it is kind of a camouflaged question about immortality, about whether or not there is life after death, couched in the questions that a child might ask. You know, is there really be a morning? Is there such a thing as they? Could I see it from the mountains if I were as tall as they? Has it feet like water lilies? Has it feathers like a bird? Does it come from famous countries of which I have never heard? Oh, some scholar, oh, some sailor, some wise man from the skies, please to tell a little pilgrim where the place called morning lies. Will there really be a morning? Is there such a thing as day? Could I see it from the mountains if I were as tall as they? Has it feed like water lilies? Has it fed us like a bird? Is it brought from famous countries of which I had never heard? Oh, some scholar or some sailor, or some wise man from the skies, please to tell our little pilgrim where that place called morning, where the place called morning lies. Will there really be a morning? Is there such a thing as And while we're talking about morning, let me sing you, because it is summer, it is warm. There's a song by an American composer called Ned Rorem that is called Early in the Morning. And this is about a young man or woman or non-binary person who is enjoying a nice holiday in France. They're 23, they're in love, and of course France is absolutely magical at that time of day. And I just love Ned Rorem. It is really hard to get accompaniment tracks of his songs, but I would like to do a full concert of his stuff because it is just so crunchy and yummy. So here we have some Early in the Morning, which Malachi, it's not rising early in the morning. Oh God, should I tell the story? I shouldn't I? Because Malachi is here. Let me drink some water real quick. Because God's it's hot here. It's 83 degrees, Begorra. So, I made my operatic debut with Gilbert and Sullivan. I was Marco Palmieri, and the baritone they had cast as my brother, and I can't remember the name of the character. I hated the guy so much that the entire character has disappeared. Yes, Malachi, I sang, take a pair of sparkling eyes, it'll never end anon. But I had a reason to hate this guy. So the first thing that he did on the first night of rehearsal was to go around and asking the other performers where they got their degrees from. Yeah, one of those. And the expression on his face kind of showed whether he approved or disapproved of where people got their degrees. He went up to my partner and saw him reading a book about computation or programming. It was an advanced programming book. And when he asked him the question, and my partner says, "Oh, I didn't go to college," he went, "Oh, I was Marco, so he must have been Giuseppe." And so, I kid you not, on the first night after the rehearsal, he emailed the artistic director telling her which members of the production needed to be replaced. I am not kidding. So, you can imagine that this man absolutely endeared himself to just about everyone in the production. I don't think I have ever seen anyone so universally hated in a production since Kathleen Battle managed to get the entirety of San Francisco Opera at her throat, to the point that after she sang The Daughter of the Regiment there, her brother-in-law, who was in the cast, distributed t-shirts among the cast that read, "I survived the battle." This is the same level right here. So by opening night, this man had just absolutely pissed everyone off. And he kept trying to upstage me. During the Barataria scene, when we were having breakfast, to sing Rising Early in the Morning, he would stand right in front of me while I was sitting down for breakfast. So he was telling, the stage director kept telling him, "Don't do that, you're going to upstage Mary." And he kept doing it. And so opening night happens. And the chorus brings in the breakfast accoutrements and the covered dishes, etc. So he stands up to do his dialogue and to run his song. And as planned, I uncover the dish and I see something that is not the plastic turkey that should be in there, but it is in fact a machine. And I go, "Oh dear." And I look over to the wings, and there is someone there, one member of the chorus, holding something with a button. And I go, "Oh, this is gonna be good." Remember, he is standing right in front of me. So he goes, "Rising early in the morning." And then the most colossal fart noise emerges from the machine, echoes throughout the entire house, and people start laughing so hard that you can't hear his aria. And that was absolutely gorgeous. Payback is a bitch. Early in the morning of a lovely summer day, as they lower the bright awning at the outdoor cafe, I was breakfasting on croissant and café au lait, under greenery like scenery, rue François Premier. They were hosing the hot pavement with a dash of flashing spray and a smell of summer showers when the dust is drenched away, under greenery like scenery, rue François Premier. I was 20 and a lover, and in paradise to stay, very early in the morning on a lovely summer day. And you know, the style of this piece reminds me a lot to another song. Another song that many of you know by Mr. Kurt Weill. follows after. For one certain face and an unforgotten laughter, I've been following signs. I've been searching through the lands for a certain pair of arms and a certain pair of hands. Yes, I looked everywhere. You can look without wings, and I found a great variety of interesting things, but it never was you. It never was anywhere you. An occasional sunset reminded me or a flower hanging high on a tulip tree, or one red star hung low in the west, or a heartbreak call from the meadowlark's nest made me think for a moment. Maybe it's true. I found him in the stars, in the call, in the blue, but it never was you. It never was anywhere you. Anywhere, anywhere you. Oh, thank you, Malachi. Oh, we're on a Kurt Weill vibe, so why not just go all the way and ask? I've looked through the windows at diamonds. They're beautiful, but they're cold. I've seen Broadway stars in fur coats that cost a fortune, or so I'm told. I guess I'd look nice in diamonds, and sables might add to my charms. But if someone I don't care for should buy them, I'd rather have two loving arms. What good would the moon be unless the right lips whispered low, "Oh, kiss me, darling, kiss me," while evening stars would glow, and a primrose path? What would be the fun of walking down a path like that without the right one? What good would the night be unless the right lips whispered low, "Oh, kiss me, darling, kiss me," while evening stars would glow? No, it won't be a primrose path for me. No, it won't be diamonds and gold, but maybe the wind Acre. I hope. Oh, did he leave already? Yes, he left already. Guess he had places to go and people to see. After this, at 7 p.m. Second Life time, my friend Kine is involved in a furry wrestling federation. Mud, I see you're here. I told you about that place, so I thought it would be a great thing for you to see a furry wrestling federation in action if you have the time. The show is starting at right after my show, so you might want to take a look, and I could potentially get you over to UFW, United Furry Wrestling Federation, where I am a trainee. Hopefully soon to do my dark match, my pre-dark match. But this will be the place for you to go. I will join you shortly after. But now, let's see. I've got one more song left, I think. And I'm going to do something that you guys have never heard before. I've already sung a couple of things that were new to you here. This is a song by the composer Stephen Mark Cohn. And the song is not technically by him. It is an American folk song. Give me 1 second. Let me drink some water. Oh yes, by the way, I'm a heel now. Just kidding. This is by the composer Stephen Mark Cohn, based on based on an early. Well, yes. Pro wrestling has a lot in common with opera. The only main difference is that the bitch slapping happens backstage in opera, whereas in wrestling it happens right there in front of everybody. But anyone who's dealt with opera knows exactly what that is. Stephen Mark Cohn, this is based on a traditional folk song, based on the immigrant experience. And let me read you the poem just so you can get a grasp of it. Give me 1 second. So 10,000 miles away. Technically speaking, it's a British American art song because it's about the immigrant experience. So sing I for a brave and a gallant bark with a fair. Oh, this is the different one. Give me 1 second. Sing I for a brave and a gallant bark. Oh, sing I for a brave. I want to make sure I get the right one. There we go. Sing I for a brave and a gallant bark, for a stiff and a rattling breeze, a bully crew and a captain true to carry me over the seas. To carry me over the seas, my boys, to my true love so gay, who went on a trip on a government ship 10,000 miles away. Oh blow ye winds, hi-oh, a roaming I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore, so let the music play. I'll start by the morning train to cross the raging main, for I'm on the road to my own true love 10,000 miles away. My true love, she was handsome. My true love, she was young. Her eyes were blue as the violet's hue, and silvery was the sound of her tongue. And silvery was the sound of her tongue, my boys, and while I sing this lay, she's a doing of the grand in a far-off land 10,000 miles away. Oh, blow ye winds, hi-oh, a roaming I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore, so let the music play. I'll start by the morning train to cross the raging main, for I'm on the road to my own true love 10,000 miles away. Sing I for a brave and a gallant bark, for a stiff and a rattling breeze, a a bully crew and a captain true to carry me o'er the seas. To carry me o'er the seas, my boys, to my true love so gay, who went on a trip on a government ship 10,000 miles away. Oh, blow ye winds, hi-yo, a-going I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore, so let the music play. I'll start by the morning train to cross the raging main, for I'm on the road to my own true love 10,000 miles away. My true love, she was handsome, my true love, she was young. Her eyes were blue as a violet's hue, and silvery was the sound of her tongue. And silvery was the sound of her tongue, my boys, and while I sing this lay, she's a-doing of a grand in a far-off land 10,000 miles away. Oh, blow ye winds, hi-yo, a-roaming I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore, so let the music play. I'll start by the morning train to cross the raging main, for I'm on the road to my own true love 10,000 miles away. 10,000 miles away. Thank you, Zarina. And voila! I finished on time. How often does that happen?